Now, a lot of things happened at Comic-Con this week, and we're going to talk about Comic-Con and a lot of the things that came out of Comic-Con at length here today. But one of the things that happened at Comic-Con, but that has not been shared with the rest of the world, is that they brought out the cast for Guardians of the Galaxy 3. They talked a bit about the movie. You can find that panel online. But what you can't find online is the little teaser, the sizzle they played for it, which got a lot of people excited. We saw a lot of descriptions about the teaser out there. I'm very excited they finally got Cosmo. I've never understood, how do you do Guardians of the Galaxy without Cosmo? But here we go, we got Cosmo here, and that's great. But a lot of people wondering, where's the trailer online? Where's Billy D. Williams? There's a little shout out. If anybody knows that reference, good on you. But like, where's this trailer? Why? Like the Black Panther trailer comes out. We're going to talk about that later. They dropped that online. The Shazam trailer comes out. Where's the Guardians of the Galaxy trailer? And that's a fair question to ask. The answer, though, is really simple. As Variety kind of reports that the reason that there was not any Guardians of the Galaxy footage shared online is because the footage they showed at Comic-Con was not quite ready for wide viewing. And so they decided, we will show it to the audience at Comic-Con, but we don't want the worldwide audience's first experience with footage of our new movie to be incomplete. Like, that's not what we want their first impression to be, because what do they say? You never get a second chance to make a first impression. So that's kind of what they thought. Now, this brings up, though, an interesting debate that I started seeing twirling online a little bit. And it happens every year with Comic-Con, even though we haven't had Comic-Con in a while, which is people saying, well, that's not fair. Not all of us can get to San Diego.
Yeah.
Why does Tommy get a cookie and I don't? I mean, it's a debate and a thing that comes up every single year. But it's true. I mean, not everybody lives close to San Diego and just hop in a car and drive down there. Like we have being only an hour and a half away from it, we have that privilege. You can just jump in a car, drive down there, be there, no real lickety split. And some people will say to me, not everybody can afford to fly to San Diego and go to Comic-Con. And it's, yeah, but there's two really big factors here. Number one, even if you could get to Comic-Con, let's say 100,000 people went, and there was more than 100,000, but let's just say 100,000. The reality is, even if you were one of those people who went down to Comic-Con and got to be at Comic-Con, even if you were there is a 95% chance that you wouldn't have been in Hall H anyway.
Nope.
Because out of the 100,000 people that can go, for some reason, Comic-Con still puts their big headline event in Hall Henry. Sorry, we don't get to call it Hall Henry, and I will gripe about that later. Hall H, they still only hold it in Hall H, which only seats a capacity of 6,000 people.
And people camp out.
And there are people who camp out for like 48 hours.
Mm-hmm. The smell in that Hall H.
The smell in Hall H is not pleasant.
It's the smell.
I have moderated panels in Hall H before. The smell, even from the stage, is not pleasant.
Oh, wow.
I am just saying. So, I mean, the reality, even if you were there, only 5% of the people that are there even get into Hall H. And I wasn't one of them. I wasn't there, and I wasn't in Hall H. And I'm cool with the fact that they didn't release it online because it wasn't ready. And I'm also cool with the idea in principle. We've been talking about this for years. This is always a debate every year. I think people who do make the Mecca trip journey down, the voyage down, the pilgrimage, if you will, to San Diego Comic-Con, those people who camp out in those lines and whatever, I'm cool with those people being rewarded with getting something a little special. Whether it's something they get to see before the rest of us do, or they get to see that maybe none of us get to see for a few months, let alone a few hours, I'm fine with that. And just because Tommy got a cookie doesn't mean I'm getting ripped off. Because I wasn't going to, if they didn't show those people at Comic-Con that footage, I still wouldn't have seen it. Like, people act as if the reason I didn't get to see it is because those people, and say, no, you weren't going to see it anyway. I wasn't going to see it anyway. But they got to have something a little special. So how about, instead of being whiny little sucks, we say, hey man, we're happy for those of you who were there and got to see it. Am I a little bit jealous? Yes, I am. But that's okay. I'm happy for those people that they got to see some, instead of griping about what I didn't get. So I don't know. So it's cool. Anyway, Rob, you hear they're saying, like, look, we don't want to release this one to the public yet because it's not ready. Is that valid, or should they have just released it as it is anyway?
Oh, come on.
you know what would happen. These effects look terrible. I mean, it
Look what happened with She-Hulk.
It happens all. Yeah, it happens. Sonic, She-Hulk, whatever. Fans will bitch, moan, and complain. And if there's somebody that's attuned to what fandom is going to do, it's James Gunn and Kevin Feige. And why they're a ways out, a year out at least, for the new Guardians movie, right? I mean, they probably have first iterations of the effects. I wouldn't release them either. The fact that they showed anything at all was a treat. And speaking about what, fan entitlement, as I always say, life is unfair. The universe is indifferent to your suffering. And if you watch Best Movie, Worst Movie about disaster movies, you will find out that my favorite disaster movie had a solar flare that one day just decided to wipe all life off the planet.
What about mine, Rob?
And yours was even better. Melancholia. I wish I had come up with that. That was better. But the thing is, if you want something in life, John, you have to go take it. If you want to go to Comic-Con and see what wonders await you in Hall H, you must go. And you must figure out how to get there, because 150,000 people a day figured out how to get there. You could be one of those people too.
And guess what? We are all going to see that footage at some point.
Exactly.
Too. It's not like we're never going to get to see it. We are going to see it. We're just going to have to wait a little bit longer.
I mean, I've never been to New York Comic-Con. You know
Never
why?
have I. I've thought about us going down.
That'd be so
Like,
fun.
always thought about taking us on a road trip and just going down to New York.
I was supposed
sometime.
to go with Schnepp one year, and I just couldn't go. But there's a reason why I haven't been to New York Comic-Con, because I haven't gone. That's the reason. I haven't saved up my shekels and booked a plane trip or a car trip or whatever to get there. And one day I will, and I'll feel better about my life.
Chris, you hear about this? I mean, they showed footage that wasn't quite 100% ready to go.
Yeah.
Do you think it would have been advantageous for them to release it anyway, or do you think it's wise for them to hold it back for now?
Oh, I think it's definitely wise for them to hold back. I mean, like you guys were saying, fans would just bitch about it. We deserve to bitch about Ugly Sonic, though. That was his teeth.
It's true.
Ooh, he was. Ugh.
I'm with you. And we made
Man.
effective change.
And that one worked out for the best. But people would complain and talk about how this looks incomplete, because it is.
It's true.
And I'm with you. I think that if you camped out outside of the San Diego Convention Center for 48 hours and you made your way into Hall H, that is your gift. Am I jealous of you? Absolutely. But it's a convivial jealousy of, man, I wish that was me, but also I stayed on my couch for all weekend. So, I don't deserve it. And how lucky are we, too? I mean, half the time we get stuff early, and I have this at home, right? Where it's like, oh, yeah, we already saw, what the bad guy in Thor looks like. We got to check that out before everyone else did.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing where Logan's like, God, can you take a picture of it and show me? No, I can't. That's not allowed.
Can't do it. Actually, let me ask you guys both this question, and I mean this seriously. Do you think if the first She-Hulk trailer didn't get all that ridiculous backlash, do you think the plan would have been just to release the Guardians trailer anyway? Or do you think that maybe that had influence on them deciding to hold it back?
I think Gunn probably wanted to keep this for himself till it was completed.
I would agree. I mean, I think that Guardians has a lot of. I mean, I think that one of the problems with She-Hulk is when She-Hulk is front and center, you're looking the scrutinization that effect takes by the audience, because you're looking for any cracks, any chinks in that armor. You're looking for that,
Which we wouldn't look for if it was a CGI animal, alien monster, robot,
No.
whatever.
Right.
But we're looking at what we know as a human being.
Exactly.
So it's that much harder. And by the way, I thought she looked fantastic in this new trailer.
Right. We'll get to that though a little bit later.
Yeah. And I think that James Gunn was right, because with Guardians, people were bitching about the Thor Love and Thunder trailer, like, oh, it looks bad, but it didn't. And if they're unfinished.
All right, guys, question is for you. What do you think about that? Them deciding not to release the Guardians trailer publicly yet because they just don't think it's ready to be released yet. Do you like that move? Do you maybe think they should release it anyway? Whatever you guys think, jump down to the comment section below and leave your thoughts there. Hey guys, we want to take a second and thank the sponsor of this video, BetterHelp. In the age of social media, you might think that everybody's life except yours is perfect, because everybody always posts the best memories, the most glamorous shots. But you and I both know that's not how life is. We get pitched some serious curveballs, and sometimes it seems like a lot of them. And we always encourage each other to get out there and to get into better physical health, going to the gym and eating right. But it's about time we started paying more attention to our mental health as well. And that's where our friends at BetterHelp come in. Because see, BetterHelp is not a crisis line. It's not self-help. It is professional therapy done securely online, available to people worldwide. You can log onto your account anytime and send private messages to your therapist, or you can schedule weekly or phone-only sessions if you're one of those people that's not really comfortable being on camera. And getting therapy every week is as easy as just a few clicks on your laptop or phone. It is time to invest in your own mental health, and BetterHelp is a great way to invest in yourself. And right now, they have a special offer for all of the John Campea Show listeners to get 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/Campea. That's 10% off your first month of online therapy at betterhelp.com/Campea.